Hello, this is Audioheads, and today we're discussing Wicked Sisters. Audioheads is part of Geeks Assembled, and Wicked Sisters were part of there were something that grew out of the Graceless audio books series, and this is a Fifth Doctor adventure. And it's actually not with one of the Fifth Doctor typical companions. It had Leela, Louise Jameson in it. And with me today over there is Lee. And yeah, I'm just so glad that we decided to do this because it was really fun. There were three separate stories. The three stories um, were called The Garden of Storms and the Moonrakers. Not the James Bond Moonraker, but another thing. You just wait and you'll hear about that. And the People Made of Smoke, which is actually um, it's actually spoken of in one of the Fifth Doctor monologues, one of his big speeches. And then they also talk about the big speeches that the Doctor makes at various points throughout these three audios. So it's just fun. It's got a lot of like, touching sort of a lot of different points in the Fifth Doctor's timeline, and a lot of things that were in other Doctors' timelines as well, since Leela's there, of course. Um, what did you think? What's your opening thoughts, Lee?
Well, let's make it clear from the beginning. I'm not a very big fan of the Graceless.
Okay.
I think they first appeared in the Fifth Doctor. Was it the Key to Time trilogy?
I think so.
Audio, and then they had their own audio series called Graceless. Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of these characters at all. So when I listen to these, I think Abby and Zara, not my thing. But the Time Lords want them extinguished.
Yeah.
Destroyed because the power is getting too powerful. They're getting too powerful.
Yeah.
So they send Leela to recruit the Fifth Doctor. Well, the Doctor, but she recruits the Fifth Doctor to go in search of them and to destroy them.
Yeah.
A good idea, but is it put in a good way in the three stories? I don't think so. Because the set, there's some stories, there's three stories. I would say as they go along, they're all better than each other. One's not as good as the last one. You know what I mean? There's varying delights in each one of them. But yeah, I'm not. This is it. I went into this knowing it's the Graceless, and
Yeah. Okay.
so that's one negative thing for me.
I guess.
Nothing against the acting, nothing against the writing or production. It's just those characters just do nothing for me.
Okay.
But saying that, all the other characters, the Doctor, Leela, all the other supporting characters in it, fine. It's just those. I just don't know. They just bore me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, this pointless. The Zara and Abby are just pointless characters in my opinion in Big Finish. Just pointless. I just don't see how they got their own series, to be honest.
Okay.
But saying that, I'm being Mr. Negative today, aren't I?
It's true. It's very true. Oh my God.
I mean, say the three stories, as you say, you've got Garden of Storms, um, which for me is my least favourite of the three.
Okay.
It was, it was a so-so story. Nothing really excited happened.
No.
Um, this is where they come in contact with Zara and Abby for the first time after looking for them in this. I can't remember where they were now. There was in a city somewhere, and the population of this place wanted to kill them because they were old.
They wanted to they wanted to hold the population at exactly the same level. So
Yeah,
as people were born
when she reached, if you're always
40.
over 40. But then I was listening to this, then I thought, been done before, Logan's Run.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, a bit naff. I thought I mean, I've said before, science fiction, fancy, or whatever, you steal from things, you steal from, well, this was obviously, it was Logan's Run. So for me, the story didn't go anywhere for me. So I move on to the Moonrakers. Love this one. You've got Sontarans
Yeah.
on the moon.
Uh-huh.
Dan Starkey um, building well, what could you call it?
A
A,
Zen garden.
a Zen garden out of rocks. Um, Not like the Sontarans we know and love, but these Sontarans don't want to fight, which was a good twist on the war in Sontarans.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think these ones were tired.
mm, yeah,
They
so
retired.
it was a different take on these characters. I thought, yeah, it's a quite interesting story. And then you move on to the people made of smoke. For me, was the best one out of the three. Because it was all leading up to this one.
Yeah.
Because of the powers that they use, that Zara and Abby are creating. I don't know how, but when they use their powers, they're creating these smoke like people. So that was a good thing.
It's like an
But
entity, and
yeah,
the
yeah,
can I explain it? Like the entity is born hungry.
yeah,
Once it manifests, it's got hunger, and it wants to feed on more of the same kind of psychic energy or psychic time energy
mhm.
that Zara and Abby share.
I mean, and it's they have to the Doctor Leela have to save the universe from being destroyed. The only way is to destroy Abby and Zara and stop them using the powers. Stop them using the powers to destroy them. So that was a thing what the Doctor was debating what to do. Uh, you know, um, or would they sacrifice themselves? Which it was a good twist.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's this. I don't know this one. I remember when I first listened to this book, so I was like that with it. So,
yeah,
but I like listening to audio, so I don't mind listening to some ones what I'm not so keen on. But if
yeah.
it's a story arc, it's a story arc. This was a three-story arc. You are going to, for me personally, you are going to get one what you're not so keen on anyway. Which is true.
Right.
If there's four stories, there'll be one what you're not so keen on.
Yeah.
So, but it's the characters of the Graceless that doesn't say anything to me at all.
Oh, okay.
But back to you, Susan.
All right. Well, in this one, the Fifth Doctor is shown to be the reason that he that I think Leela chose him is because of his adorable feckless youth that he portrays, and then throughout the course of these three stories, he actually ages to the point where he is now, where he was using his normal speaking voice, where Petey was using his normal speaking voice. You know, the one that's like he doesn't have to really speak in a like a light falsetto or you know use his and then try to make it sound younger. This one, it sounded like all the cigarettes and whiskey that he's been drinking and stuff and smoking for over the last
That's true.
50 years. He's a and he really did you know shine out, and he was you know he's a good it was a good story for him. Being that he looks like he look in the story, he looks like he was when he was 39, which is when he was hired as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Or was it 29? 29, sorry. Yeah, 29 to 30 in that area. And so yeah, he looks plenty young for this. And then it gave Leela a chance to be her solid uh you know, leading Gallifrey self, which was fun because I love the Gallifrey series. I haven't actually listened to the Graceless series, so I am missing out on that joy. But maybe Lee is showing that it's maybe not necessary. But anyway, I don't have many of them. I think I have got one, but I do like Leela in this place because it's kind of the same place that you hear Ace and you hear Susan and you hear pretty much everybody else in the Gallifrey and then the Gallifrey Time War. I mean, you just get a sense of of all these women being given so much power. And then, of course, you know, Romana had so much power in the Gallifrey series, the normal, and then the Time Lord, she's just like, I'm just gonna go do my own thing, okay? Fuck off. I mean, really, she's just like, I'm done. Bitch, back up. Anyway, like that, like that's anyway. So I really like it, and I really like and I really like the. I did like Zara and Abby. I thought that was fun because they were really different, and I had some really strange images of them in my head. I had like these statuesque women, and then like this other part of the story, I had these women like kind of you know sort of overly dressed, like um just so posh and stuff, and then I liked imagining them because I'd never heard of them and stuff. So boy, I've got to listen to Graceless sometime. And let's see, the other thing that really I liked the Santarans, and I also um the when they talk about what to do when the time lock is open from Gallifrey is that the the people made of smoke. No, wait, no, that's actually. I'm sorry. I have to step back at this. Okay, when Ace and the Seventh Doctor are departing the screen for the last time, they talk about people made of smoke, and so there they are. That's where the Fifth Doctor ran into them. There are people made of smoke. That somewhere this tea get growing cold. Come on, Ace, we got work to do. Anyway, that's that speech. And then they all talk about the speeches that the doctor makes, which is great. And he had a couple chances to do those, and the Fifth Doctor is awesome. So yeah, I like that. And uh, yeah, so and the TARDIS and the fact that Leela said, "Oh, I could drive the TARDIS better than he can."
Yeah, well, she was more. I mean, this is in. She's later in her life when she spent many years on Gallifrey. She's more intellectual now than she
And
was back with the Fourth Doctor because she was just a savage then learning.
yeah, but she was
Now,
also, but they also like invested a lot of time in training her to help defend Gallifrey too, because she was one who would do shit that none of the other Time Lords or none of the other people on the planet would even do. Here's Leela, and she was, human and willing and able to do stuff. Come at me, bro. That kind of thing.
but
So, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I've admittedly before I've said that Davison's era on TV was my least favourite. Um, I've often called him the bland beige doctor. Um, that's because of his coat. Um,
I know.
I just didn't think his stories were that good on TV. His last season upped the game, I think. But then, what does Big Finish do? They brings these actors back, write these scripts for them, and make these characters and help give these actors more meat on the bone
Ah,
for the stories. They've done it with Colin Baker, done it with Paul McGann,
yep.
um, and they do it with Peter Davison as well because I think he was had done by for his first two seasons. His stories weren't that good, in my opinion, anyway. Um,
Yeah,
I think
I've
he's
heard
had some
this.
pretty he's had some pretty damn good audio dramas from Big Finish,
Yeah,
but in my opinion, this one's not as good as the others because some of the characters don't really gel with me.
I know, I know. Okay, so what are moments and stuff that you liked, disliked, and
Well, so I like the way that um, the way they depicted the Sontarans. I thought that was quite fun. Leela, as I said, more outgoing, more confident, more knowledgeable. Um, and so the Doctor with the aging thing, I thought was a good twist. Um, it was just the sisters just doesn't do it for me. As I said, the writing, the acting, I can't knock, but it's just it's just one of these box sets. I've got mixed feelings about it.
yeah, all right.
So
So if you don't want to talk about the story elements that are or and then why don't you are you ready to rate it, or do you want to talk some more about other things that you noticed?
well, what was your moments? Or
Well, like I said, I loved the idea of Sontarans out on the moon doing a Zen garden. I thought that was really fun, and I loved the callback to the people of smoke. And I just was super struggling until I get on Geeks Assembled and I get to geek out about this. Then they'll figure this stuff out. And then and you know little Sylvester McCoy comes in, and we'll be able to sort out where we heard people of smoke. And then the other thing that was really good was that the people of smoke sounded like Seymour and in Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me, I'm hungry. It was like all that. I'm hungry. It was like that idiot box or idiot whatever. No, the something tube or whatever of the 10th Doctor, where the TVs were saying, "I'm hungry," or
Oh yeah,
anyway,
yeah, the wire.
the wire, yeah. And then there's I mean, they've done that a lot. A lot of science fiction talks about that endless hunger and that endless, desire for fulfillment and satisfaction, and that's really where it starts off with these beings of smoke merely being like ghosts and something like that, and just not noticeable. And then because Abby and uh, because because they are getting stronger and actually but actually trying not to use their powers, like those critters, those smoke beings, they're starving to death.
Hmm.
So that dichotomy from the first, where they themselves, the smoke beings, were just ghostly and just invisible or whatever, and then they become super manifest because they just need to assert their presence to make a big deal out of what they needed. Yeah, so that was a cool through through vein in the story, or through wire in the story. Oh, there you go. There's the wire. And the other thing that was great was yeah, and Leela, of course. So I had a lot of like similar thoughts. I thought that it was that when all those people were dying, that was plenty jeopardy. I mean, they really did. You know, there were lots and lots of body count in this story,
Yeah,
and that's pretty brutal. So I mean, the Fifth Doctor had to, like, you know, especially with having to sit in that queue and prove that he was young, and then show up that he was really old, like that they had to, you know, try and fakey that he was really young, and then flip the story around and turn that he was really old, and that these people were being brutalized and stuff. You know, Logan's Run
yeah,
ish, where he started his run basically. Um, like, that was really interesting, is that cue, uh, and yeah, the and I don't know what they were using to read ages, but that was really interesting too. I love how in science fiction there's going to be some device that actually tells your age for real. I mean, really.
uh, I mean, there's.
Because when Lee shaves his beard and mustache off, he looks really young.
I haven't got a beard or mustache.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. When you shaved it off, you look really young. But then when you grow it out, you look a bit older.
Well,
And
I am old.
anyway,
I did like though, in this, going back to the thing, the second story, the Moonrakers, Sun Tyrants on the moon. You go to the third story, you're inside the moon,
yeah,
and it's just there's a whole, just like a world inside the moon.
yeah.
Um, and we always thought it was an egg.
And we thought it was an egg, and we thought it was that it was solid, and then we also thought that it was women, the Amazon women on the moon or whatever. Do you remember that old movie?
Yeah, that old
the
movie.
with Technicolor or whatever. How that was so pretty and weird. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's an enjoyable box set, but it yeah, it's just those characters what put me off.
Yep. All right.
Nice cover though.
Yeah, that's really good.
See, I buy them even if I don't like them.
And there's a Dan and Dan Starkey did a really good job. You're right about that. That was quite something. Anyway, what's your final say and score? Then
Well, I won't beat about the bush. Um,
Melanie Bush.
Melanie Bush. I'm gonna give this 7 Zen Gardens out of 10.
Oh, okay. All right. All
Not,
right.
not, not it's not a high rating one in my opinion,
No,
but
no, I get it.
7's not low down there.
Yeah. And I'll give this 8.5 um people of smoke
Mm,
um out of 10. I think that them screaming "I'm hungry" won't go get out of my head for very long. I mean, it's pretty intense,
yeah.
and so I'd like to thank Lee for listening to this. And even though you didn't really like it very much, I know that you buy them all anyway, and so I'm actually really glad. And being from Boston, we'd like to say that it's a wicked smart, wicked sisters. Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Being from Boston, yeah. Okay, so yeah, please like and subscribe, all you out there, and RIP QE2. We and long live KC and his sunshine hands. KC KC3 and his sunshine hands. We'll miss you, QE2. Gosh, we'll miss you. You were amazing. Anyway, uh, life goes on, and so does Big Finish, and so does Doctor Who. So stay tuned to our podcast. We are starting into the season of spookiness, of actually Lee and I have chosen to do John Carpenter's works that he's written and works that he's produced, works that he's involved in. And so I'm going to see if we can do some audios from him, but whatever we can muster up, we'll do it for you. And we just want to involve you in scaring yourself half silly, and that's fun. Anyway, please talk to Lee if you want to join us, because Lee and I would love to have you. Be really nice if you were really nice to Lee, though. So that's just me saying the truth, and speaking truth.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is oh yeah, so subscribe and hit the bell notification. We do two approximately wonderful pieces of podcasting every week, and you just stay tuned, okay? Come
Yeah.
back every time you get a notification, hit that bell, and every time you get a notification, come back and watch, because we really want to involve you, and like give you giggles and stuff, and let you see us wrangle these things out. Today it was Lee didn't like anything that we did today, so that was funny. That's gonna be talked about in future podcasts, I'm sure.
Hey, I don't have to like everything.
I know, right?
It's just one of those weeks.
And so, yeah. Is that everything? I think so.
I think so too.
See you in a week. Have a great one, you guys.
Bye for now.
Bye.